We are officially official because we have players.
Yes. I feel bad for these guys because
How bad do you feel for these guys?
I feel terrible for these guys because, number one, they could have been doing anything. They could be talking to some of the great active duty service members we have here, veteran service organizations, and instead somebody said, look, there are these two clowns on these microphones you got to go talk to for a little bit. And you guys are here, though. We greatly appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. With us, we have Andrew Gutman and Amar Sejdic from Atlanta United. Guys, first of all, thank you so much for being here. And second of all, talk a little bit about the Stars Stripes soccer tournament that we have going on here. What you are, have you interacted with anybody so far? Saw you racing around in the golf cart. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing today.
Yeah, it's an amazing event. This is my first year being involved in it. And what Atlanta United's done with this event has been amazing. We've already spoken with a few guys. I've spoken with some fans that say that they love our play and love what we're doing. But it's pretty cool that they can come out here and put this event on for them. And it seems like it's going to be a great day.
Omar, what about you? What's it like hanging out here?
No, it's I think it's a very nice experience. I think it just shows how sport can bring people together, and all these veterans and active duty members. It's a really nice day for them to kind of come out, have some fun, enjoy the ball, and compete at the end of the day. So yeah, it's a nice day for it.
One thing that people, all of us fans don't see is, when the beginning of the year comes around, new players get out of the locker room. We don't really see that chemistry building. But for those of us, I'm a veteran myself, along with some of these guys out here, we know what it's like to be thrown into a situation where I may not have ever met you before. You may be from a completely different background. Your beliefs may be completely different, but we have to find a way to succeed together. Can you talk a little bit about, from the sporting side, what that's like whenever you get these new players that come into a locker room, or you encounter challenging situations and you have to really galvanize and develop chemistry?
I mean, I think even in the situation that in the professional world that we're in today, I mean, you have guys that are from all around the world, and we don't even speak the same language with maybe a handful of guys in the locker room. So at the end of the day, you don't have that communication verbally, but you kind of have it through what the coaching staff wants us to do in a game, whether it's offensively or defensively. And then sometimes you just have to improvise on the spot, and you have to know what your teammates' tendencies are, where they like to receive the ball, on the front foot, on the back foot. Does Andrew like to overlap inside or outside? So you just kind of get to know your teammates from playing every single day together, and then building that camaraderie and trusting them with the ball and them trusting you with it. So I think it works both ways that way.
Yeah, I think one of the things Amar didn't mention was you got to find ways to connect with people, whether that's speaking the same language or not. So one thing for us is we actually just put a ping pong table in our locker room, in our training facility, and just having the ping pong table makes connections. You're playing doubles in ping pong with the guy that doesn't even speak your language, but yet you're communicating, you're working together, you're trying to win a game, whether it's competitive or not competitive. It's just stuff like that, really, really brings people together, and it helps you in the long run over the course of the season.
Inevitably, we all encounter difficulties in life. Things don't always go our way, as much as we may want them to, as much as we may work to turn things around. A lot of veterans who I speak with, they talk about getting into a tough spot, and they don't necessarily know how to get out of it. So they look for inspiration from a lot of different avenues, right? Whether it's celebrities, athletes. When I have no doubts that you guys have encountered tough challenges. What do you all do when you get into a tough spot? Are there one or two things you go to that help get you out of that tough spot? And it can be anything, but it's, when you, from a negative mindset maybe, or, just a tough overall situation, how do you get out of that rut? How do you get out of that tough situation individually?
Yeah, I think, for me, I just kind of remind myself what I'm grateful for, what I have in life that are positives. And, it's so easy to be in a negative mindset, and it's weird because it's so hard to continuously be positive. But if you can just take a breath every so often during the day and just remind yourself what you're grateful for, what you have in life, whether that's friends, families, whatever. For me, that's something that really helps me. Even, when I'm really feeling down, I'll call my mom and just, I won't even tell her that I'm feeling down, but just hearing her voice and talking with her, it gets me out of that tough situation and reminds me what truly matters in life and kind of puts me back in that positive mindset.
The same goes for me. I mean, gratitude definitely goes a long way. For me, my upbringing and what my parents kind of went through in terms of the whole Yugoslavian civil war and kind of escaping that, and it kind of puts a lot of things into perspective for me and what they did to come to America to give me a better life as a 4-year-old kid. So anytime that I really ever kind of go through some down times, I always remind myself what I'm grateful for, and everything there is to achieve in such a short life that we live. And then I also try to remind myself to kind of be contagiously positive, so that way that if I bring positive energy, like it'll kind of spread to somebody else in that sense. So that's just kind of how I've been doing things. But everybody has their own different methods as well. So
it's great to hear that. There's these different takes on challenges and how we get out of it, especially for the veteran community. I know that there's a lot of us who are watching, and I say us because I'm a part of that family, that when we get into tough situations, the understanding that it's not permanent. Like these, the super high, awesome, amazing moments, they aren't permanent either. The ruts, the challenges, that they're not permanent either. But being grateful, keeping things in perspective. These are these basic things that allow us the opportunity and reaching out, just having conversations with people. Those are close to us, friends, family, whoever it may be. And some of these veteran service organizations help with that very thing. So if you're out there and you're watching this and maybe you're thinking to yourself, there's nobody who's going to understand me. Well, I promise you, somebody from Team Red, White, and Blue, Rubicon, Merging Vets and Players, Warrior Alliance, they're there to help you. And so if you just take that opportunity and reach out, it's just a leap of faith. Sometimes I know, when you guys are breaking down field, you may think there's a window and that window may be closing to deliver that ball, but you're like, I'm just going to put it and maybe Yakimakis can get to it. But sometimes we have to take
Probably will.
He probably will. That guy. But we have to take that gamble, that risk, that little leap of faith sometimes. And I think it's important and it's so awesome to hear you guys talk about that at all. Let's talk a little bit about how you guys came up, if you have a moment. When you were coming up, talk a little bit just about your journey. Like when you guys were coming up and playing, what was important to you? Was it important to just be the best soccer player? Was it important to just have fun? What was like the key motivator to keep you all going on your journey forward? I know it's a huge question, but sometimes you talk to someone and says, I didn't worry about having fun. I just wanted to be the best. That's it. I just want to be better than everyone else around me. And you talk to some people who just said, I couldn't live without playing no matter what. And I just got good. But so was it one of those two things for you guys coming up where you enjoyed it, or you just said, I have to be the best? Which one?
I wish there was like a clear answer for me, but to be honest, I didn't really know anything else. Like I kind of grew up with a ball at my feet. My dad kind of put it at my feet straight out the womb, and that's just kind of how it happened. So for me, that's all I really ever knew. And every time I kind of was in tournaments and this and that, I never really got nervous or anything like that at a young age. I was just like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to have some fun. And then I just ended up kind of having the talent and the technical ability to be a little bit more skillful than players my age. So then I would go up and play a couple years ahead, play in tournaments with them. And then I would get bullied a little bit, hit, push, shoved. So then I had to kind of adjust my game with the older guys. And kind of as time went on, I was just like, okay, like my dad was like, if you really want to commit yourself to this, like you can do big things. And from there, I had the opportunity to go.
Good morning. I'm Peter Davidson. Not Pete, because before 11 a.m., I like to keep it toned down and simple, just like Taco Bell breakfast, with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown and a grilled tortilla. It's how everyone should wake up, and that's why you could all have a free breakfast crunch wrap. You could have a crunch wrap.
Offer valid every Tuesday in June.
Now free crunch wraps
Must
here.
be a loyalty member and order on the app.
You could have a crunch wrap.
He just shows up and does this.
Free crunch wraps.
Go to Holland and play a year professionally with FC Vitesse, and from there, kind of everything changed. I had to go from a mentality of being a child and playing to now I'm playing with, top youth in the world, and I have to earn my respect. So that was a big kind of mental shift for me. And from there on out, I ended up going to University of Maryland, graduated in economics, won a national championship, and then I've been in MLS since 2019. So
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's completely different. My parents didn't pressure me to do anything. Probably until I was 14, I wanted to be a baseball player. I really enjoyed baseball. But for me, it was just always having fun, whether I was playing baseball, basketball, soccer. Growing up, I was always outside. I always was, active doing something. And, it wasn't so much my parents forced me to do sports. They just kind of wanted to make sure that if I was going to do something, I was going to stay committed to it, whether that was education or athletics. So for me, I just kind of gravitated towards soccer probably around like 7th, 8th grade is when I really, really started to enjoy it. I then joined the Chicago Fire Academy, and I had a rough 2 years where I didn't really play. And so I was kind of almost ready to just be done with it. And, my parents were like, yeah, whatever you want to do. If you want to be done, then, go to school and we'll figure something out. If you want to keep going, then keep going. So I decided to keep going. Ended up going to Indiana University as a walk-on. Went there, played my 4 years there, worked my way up to a full scholarship, which was great for my parents. Graduated with business management, and then had the opportunity to go overseas for a little bit. So I was at Celtic for about a year, and then came back to MLS, and I've been here ever since.
Now, there's a certain 13-year-old boy probably watching this right now. Hi, Jack. Who is intent on wanting to be a striker. Okay. I am by trade a defender. Gentlemen, can we please sell our individual positions here to let this young brash individual know that there's beauty in defense.
Impressionable
13-year-olds,
right?
Right? There's
When
something.
I was 13, I wanted to be a striker though too.
You did?
I think
Yes.
everybody wants to be a striker.
Yeah, everyone
At
wants
the
to
end of
score the
day,
goals.
Yeah, you just kind of.
See, I grew up watching. I grew up watching Italy play and watching these absolutely insane tackles and the shutting down of the attack. And I think there's enough petty in me that even at a young age where I was like, ooh, this is a calling. I think there's something here for this. But from a defensive, people who are more defensively set up, there's still opportunities to affect the game. There's still opportunities for you to radically affect the game. What led you to your positions there? You said everybody wants to start off being a striker, but when you are on defense, right? What do you think makes you a great defender or have a better defensive mentality, maybe?
I think for me, like I said, growing up, I wanted to be a striker. I played striker, up until like 15, 16 years old is when
Right.
I transitioned to left back. And so for me, defensively, I feel like I'm better because I can also understand what the attacker is trying to do. So I can then position myself to stop them. And sometimes you just got to find out what your strength is in the game. For me, I was always a good runner. I was always able to get up and down the field a lot. And so in my position, it's a big benefit to me. There's certain players on the team that probably can't run as much, but they're stronger and they're more powerful. So they play up top. And, it's just kind of figuring out what your talents suit best for you and then deciding what position from there.
For me, I've been lucky enough to play a midfielder my entire career. So never really had to make an adjustment, but I think kind of what helped me stay in that role was just kind of having my technical ability from a young age. And I think it came from playing a lot of futsal, to be honest. Spent pretty much all my winters were playing either indoor soccer or futsal on a basketball court with those hard balls, size 3 or 4, whatever they are. And just kind of playing the game that way. And then through the years, obviously my vision increased also, and trying to find the right passes, long balls to Andrew, making a 80-yard dash or something like that. But nonetheless, I also think that what the coach kind of asks of you can matter on what position you play. I've played with players through my youth, college career, even professional career that can play multiple positions. They're not even set on one position. They can go from a defensive midfielder to a center back to a right back to a left back. They're just versatile. They have the IQ and the awareness in each position. So at the end of the day, it's good to the more positions you know, the more valuable you are to a coach. So I think that's a good way to kind of approach it.
I have to unfortunately put you to the side for a moment here because I'm thrilled that you're on the team, because like you and Brad, you give the aerodynamic. Yes. And so my son, whenever anything happens, like with you, like, you score a banger, you doing like one of these 80-yard long busting runs, he just starts going like this and he looks over at me, goes, Dad,
It's
Dad.
magic.
Yeah. And so it's the aerodynamic energy that you're bringing, and I appreciate that. You have wonderful hair, right? Okay, you have like commercial hair. Yeah, and that's great for you. But I've got to say I'm thrilled that we have the aerodynamic People's Liberation Front with the bald heads running loose on the field. So I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer, but I do want to say that whenever we have an event like this and players take time, I know how much you guys. I've grown up around it. Dad played pro for a small window of time, semi-pro. Grew up around this game. I know how much you guys train. I know the work that you guys are putting in all day, all night, off hours. When you all show up, I want you to know that it's appreciated and that it means the world to us. It means so much to have you come and give back. Even if it's riding around saying hi, shaking hands, it doesn't matter, because you're here and your presence is appreciated. And I just want to let you guys know that from the bottom of my heart. And if you guys ever look up and see 233 row 1 and you see somebody going like this, it's me and the family. So I really appreciate you guys
That can
coming
be like
out.
our new little handshake.
That's
I'll
right.
see you on the field. I'll go like
There
that.
we go, like that. It's all good to go. But I really appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you guys. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. Amar Sejdic, Andrew Gutman. We'll have more from the Star Stripes and Soccer Cup across SDH. We're on Twitch all afternoon. These guys, try to keep them, you guys going to put in any minutes today? Are you going to get recruited in?
I don't think they're giving us the nod.
I can give some tactics, but that's about
There you
it.
go. So some coaching.
We got a little golf cart over there that we're gonna stay in the shade. We're gonna drive it around. We're gonna have some fun.
There you go. Well, Amar, Andrew, thanks again, guys. Nick,
Thank
you and
you.
I will be here all afternoon. Keep an eye on everything on SDH. Keep your notifications up. We'll be back coming up in just a little bit.